Hey, hello, welcome. My name is Emerald, and today we're playing some more House Flipper 2. I wanted to create a new build in sandbox mode, and I've been kind of looking around what would be inspiring. And I'm very late to this trend, but quite a while back we had that Wes Anderson trend on TikTok specifically, where people would create shots that would remind them of Wes Anderson films. That the films have a very distinct quality to them, a very distinct visual style. And I thought I would go and try and recreate a home that would resemble that, that would pay tribute to Wes Anderson's style visuals. So, what are we actually going to build? So, I had to do a little bit of research, and I came to learn that Wes Anderson um, is greatly inspired by Art Deco. Um, he uses a lot of pastels, but it's also very vibrant. And now, pastels and vibrant don't usually match. Pastels are very soft colors. But because of the color grading in his films, everything turns out very, very vibrant. So I'm going to try and recreate that. One wider, actually. And so I looked up a couple of reference pictures of traditional Art Deco, of course, of Wes Anderson films, and it is definitely inspired by, though it is absolutely not the same as Art Deco. It is, how would you say it? Well, inspired, loosely inspired by it. He uses a lot of um, organic forms, which is used a lot in Art Deco, like rounded shapes and all of that stuff. So what I'm going to be building is a sort of townhouse that you would see in big cities, like in Budapest or in Belgium. You would see a lot of these. There's a lot of these in Utrecht as well, that are very Art Deco looking. So I'm going to try and recreate that. Obviously, in this lot, I have loads of room because the developers want to give us loads of room. I'm going to make quite a narrow house as if it were squished between different buildings. I built it quite far to the front. I'm actually going to reel it in a little bit just so we have some more room to look at it. So I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to add this wall and I'm going to remove the other ones. Don't want it to take out the other. Okay, there we go. Ah, just missed that one. There we go. We've got a little bit more room, and if we need it, we can extend it to the back. But this is already quite large, so maybe we don't need to. Once again, we're going to run into the same problem that we had with our Victorian home that we did last. It's going to be narrow and thus going to be probably pretty tight to work with. Anyway, I want the house to be raised, so let me get a door in to sort of um, think of where we want to have the front door, or what height we want it. I think this is good. And we'll have a little plateau to reach the front door. And we'll slap in a random staircase. Not totally random if I'm actively choosing them. But there we go, a random staircase. Now, what I would also like, what a lot of these homes have, at least in Utrecht, well, more Amsterdam maybe, is a basement. Usually just half a basement. No, that's not the one I wanted. I want a land hall about this size. And you would, I need to put a wall in. So with this tool, you can actually cut a hole in the floor. Someone in the comments pointed that out to me actually. And let's say it's 2 meters 60, the height of it. Let's build a little plateau. Extend that a little bit up. So often in big cities where they have little room, they make use of all the space they have, so they add a little basement to it. So I wanted to add that as well. We need some room to walk. That's a 1x1 platform. I may not have enough room to go a full story down. But maybe that's not necessary. I'm sort of guessing the the size here. It can be a little bit steeper. Usually go for. I think it's just a little bit too close to this platform here. We want 1 meter of room. So we're going to have to change the size of the staircase a little bit. It's going to have to be at least that width. Is that still walkable comfortably? Let's go ahead and exit flying mode. Oh, you can totally still go in there. And there can still be a door right there. So let's say we copy that door. Well, maybe a smaller door. Hope we have one. Apparently we don't. Okay, so we'll have to take it back 1 more space. Really doesn't like us to do that. Let's move you. I want that grid snapping on. Why do I get to turn that on once I've moved it? Probably doesn't like it because we don't have an extra wall here. So let's add that. All the way up. Good. And let's remove that extra layer. There we go. Okay, so we have a little basement going on here. What happened to this door? Are you all right, sir? I don't know what happened. Let's try and put you back. Now it doesn't have a door handle. What happened? Did we encounter a bug? Well, we definitely encountered some sort of bug. I don't know what to do about that. Let's just remove you for now and act like nothing happened. All right, cool, thank you. Going to remove the entirety of this floor. Big old hole in it. And we'll add the walls to it. There we go. Close this up. And we'll add the floor to it as well. Perfect. So that's our basement. We need to cut just a little bit more of a hole here. There we go. Okay, so the floor go right here. That's that. So we've got a little basement here. And little basements. It's not little at all. We even have some space above the door left over. There we go. Let's try that again. It still doesn't have a handle. Did the others not have a handle either? Oh, that one has a handle. What's wrong with you? Something was just off with that specific handle. Okay. Weird, but we'll return it in its place. I like the archway that it has going on there. So we're definitely using that. Now to check out what we sort of want for the rest of it. Let's see if we have some small windows, very, very small windows. These are the smallest I can find, probably. Love to put that there. Well, we can still do that. Need to cut another hole though. Yeah. We'll need to turn it around. Turn it around with the transform tool. That's completely fine. There we go. You have a little look into the basement. I know this looks a little bit weird, but bear with me. It will all make sense. And then we add some windows to our facade. Let's see what kind of windows we have. All of these quarter round windows are 4 wide. Let's go with one of these. And let's go with a 4x6 regular. Maybe we have a 2x6 right there. A little bit of space between them is fine. Got another 4x6 but the other way. All right, that is our first layer windows done probably. Let's go inside to add a floor. And just so I know what we're working with, I'm going to add a little bit of a marker here. So I know where the next floor starts. And we might be able to turn this into some sort of trim once we get to painting. Now I would love a big feature window. Though it is a little bit small for what size of the house is. Maybe if we add some more windows to it, next to it. Maybe if we try something like this, it needs to be the other way. Let's go with one smaller actually. Same size as this round window. 4x7. Add that and we'll go smaller next to it. That's still quite a feature. It's not one window, but it is quite nice. Maybe if we add we'll add a more dramatic feature if it goes down a little bit more. So where was the other 4x5? That's right here. That's pretty cool. I think maybe it's just a tad too high, so let's bring it down a little bit. Sort of looks like the phases of the moon, doesn't it? Like this. I think that's really cool. I think that's very in the style of Art Deco specifically. I don't know if it's in the style of Wes Anderson per se, but I think that looks pretty neat. Add a ceiling, and once again we'll add a little marker on the outside so we know where our floor ends and where the next one begins. There we go. Let's add that little rim right here as well. That's fine. Okay. Now something for the top. I think just regular arched windows is fine here. It's not centered though. You know what bothers me the most? Things that aren't centered. Okay, well that is a bit of a problem. I don't think we can center that. So either we go with a different window, different size, even with a precise placement. We can still do it with the movement tool. Those. I think the grid is on. Yeah. So let's remove grid snapping. Ooh, that does weird things. Okay, we can't do that. So we'll get rid of you. Get rid of you, thank you. 7x7 is the largest we have, unfortunately. We don't have an 8x8. So let's go with the 6x6 and just take it up a little bit. So it's still sort of cascading. Bring that closer. It's a little less grand, but it still has the same effect that we were going for. There you go. Still looks really cool. It's a shame we couldn't go any bigger, but it's still very, very cool. So now we can definitely center the remainder of it. And let's do that same cascade, but just with 3 on the upper level. I think that looks really neat. Now, do we want an extra story on that or not? Because what we could do, I think we do need an extra story, especially these townhouses are quite high. And actually, I want to bring these down in just one space because I think the round window needs a little bit more breathing room. There we go. Let's do that outward. We will add another story. Add a little rim right here. Oh, didn't need it to be too wide. So I'm thinking of adding in a bit of walls right here. Looking at the wrong measurement, I was like, why is it not going up or down? Because it was the width and that was not changing. There we go, very narrow. So it will be an awkward space. But hey, I would consider myself a bit of an expert on awkward spaces. No, I really don't consider myself an expert on it. I just create these situations for myself and I sort of try to get out of it. Let's put that there. There are a couple of roofs that I've seen in Art Deco style that are rounded, but we don't have rounded roofs in House Flipper, but we can sort of mimic it slightly. By putting 2 different pitches, basically. So let's go with a resize tool. And in this case, it will create sort of a barnyard look, which isn't specifically what we're going for, but it is the best match to sort of a rounded roof. I find it quite difficult to explain, but I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to copy that one, put it on the other side. There we go. And then we'll make another roof right here. Yes, I wanted this one. See what I mean? That gives a little bit of an barnyard look, but also a bit of a curve. Now, I didn't plan for that, but I saw hip roof. Perhaps I like that as well. I think I'm going to go with that. I quite like that, actually. I was planning on just having it be like that regular roof, but this is quite nice too. So let's put some walls in there. Let's have them be limited by roof, so you can drag them out. There we go. Boop. And one right here. Okay, perfect. So, pastels. I am going to add some to here. I'm going to change this to be flat. I'm going to add this right here. It's closed off. All right, so pastels. Let's go back to that. Let's pick color. I'm thinking of cream or just straight up yellow. We could go with plaster. Let's put that on there. This stays a little bit dark because of that plaster, so let's go with the other one. Maybe a little bit brighter, because we do want a bit of a daring house. Let's say we take that all the way up, We could go with that, or we could try and find a yellow brick. The red bricks has some color stone. Clay bricks. I think that might be what we're looking for. Put some white mortar in between them, and maybe because of the brick discoloration, a little bit softer. I think the plaster is actually better. What do you think? I'm going with the plaster. Let's get these coloured in as well. This one's having trouble. God, this is so annoying. I had this before, and I think I solved it by putting it somewhere else where it would do that. Will you work right here? Nope. We're not cooperating at all. Maybe just inside. No, you're just being a bit of a bitch. Let's see if the others work. That one doesn't work. It's just that that one is bugged. That is annoying. Okay, okay. So that side, that orientation is bugged. Oh, I saw it. Okay, we got it. We got it in. Okay, so we just need to click it 1,000 times before it allows us to paint it. Sure, we can do that. Where is your hitbox? Where is it? Where's your hitbox? Why won't you allow us to paint you? Let's put you in the naughty corner. Wait, where did we find the hitbox for the other one? I probably should have taken more note of that. Do all other sides except for this one. That's infuriating. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, we got it. Woo. Sorry, might have screamed a little bit. Where was it? Oh, it was right there. Okay, let's try it for the last one. Let's move you over. Ooh, that was a lot easier. Now, I don't know what their problem is, why they're being so difficult about it, but it works ultimately. So the details, of course, we need a cool window up there. So let's go with another round window, and we'll just do the same trick again right there. That looks pretty good. No, actually, it's a little bit too much upstairs. There we go. That's probably best. Okay, so this is already looking very fun. Now let's go ahead and see what kind of roofs we can add to it. Roof shingles, fish scale roof tiles. Change the color of the fish scale. Oh, and the steel roof as well. The fish scale is fine. Thinking of going with a teal color. Ooh, I think we'll go with this one. Copy that style onto there. That's fun. And we'll search for a similar teal. Not the same. It needs to be a little bit darker. Or does it need to be more muted? Muted and darker? That's the best match, I think. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to paint one of these. And I'm going to replace these walls with that teal color, the rims. There we go. And that one. And of course, this one. Okay, that is looking very pastel, but also vibrant. I love that. We could go with that same blue. Let's try it out. Or we could go with white. So I think to keep it cohesive, we could go with white right here, actually. And we want white mountain bars then. I mean, that looks pretty cool. The white does stick out though with the round windows. So perhaps we change that back to that teal color. We could go with a bit of a faded version of that. Be that right there. Something like that. And that's already quite quirky looking. Let's change that style. We can go with an even different color. Ooh. Oh. I think I might like that. Honestly. I think that's pretty cool. We can try and tie the green in some more into the exterior. But let's think about the base. We can go with that brick base that we ditched. So let's go with the custom colored stone. Go with these. We'll go with that yellow. More reddish it needs to be. Some white mortar. Yeah, I think that's a good match. Down there. Now, if we want something different, we'll do that later. Obviously. It's looking like a house. An actual house. Maybe a bit extravagant, but a house nonetheless. Okay, perfect. So I want to tie in the green of that. So let me color pick that. Let's see if we can find some sort of striped pattern. There are a couple of striped patterns. There are these stripes, sort of irregular stripes. I'm going with this one. Find that same green. Well, I don't know which one it was. Might be this one, I think. Let's rotate you. See how thick these stripes are. These stripes are just a little bit too thick, I think, and the green isn't right. Is it? Not sure which green it was. Green's too bright. I think that's the one. Now it's looking a bit like a clown house. We're going to fix that. Going with maybe a subtler stripe. I want these to be reversed, so it'd be okay. These would be the teal. It's these. It's not updating properly, so it's a bit confusing. is a different teal. Also, the rotation needs to be reset. And the teal still isn't quite right. Even darker? I guess it was. Okay, so this is looking a lot calmer. We're going to tweak it some more. Down right there. Okay. Still looking a little bit circusy, but we're going to tone it down a little bit more, and we're using our beloved molding. So let's put you into that teal color. Let's go with painted wood. Oh, I still don't remember which one it was. That one? I don't know. The painted wood. We'll go with the same color as this one. There we go. That seems to match, sort of, kinda. Right. We might need to go a bit thicker, actually. I thought maybe the others would be too thick. How high are you? Oh, no, these measurements, they don't make any sense. Like, this one's definitely thicker than the other one. So we don't need to look at that. Let's try and find that exact teal once again. I think I have it down for this one. See, that's better. Though I'm really not sure about the teal. It definitely matches this one. I think the pattern that we chose is a bit of a problem. Though it is very close. There are some minor differences depending on material and stuff like that. So they're close enough. It's quite hard to tell the difference. There we go. Put you all the way over there. You all the way over there. I'm going to rotate all of these in the hopes I can just... No, I want it to be grid snapping. Thank you very much. Right. Let's rotate these in the hopes that I can just drag the bottom one down. Rotate you. And you. Let's try if we can put it there. Oh, we can. Yes. That's good. That's really good. Is this a different shade? It is, isn't it? Okay, good. We fixed that. See, this is already looking a lot calmer. Drag it all the way to the side. Right there. And we'll add a trim right here. Okay, good. That's looking a little bit decorated. Now I want to see if I can mimic some corbels. We're probably going to be able to do that with, you guessed it, molding. Maybe you didn't guess it. I didn't give you quite a lot of time, but we're going to do it with molding. We're actually, well, this is still technically molding, but this, just singulars of these, might be the perfect size. How much do we want to put space between them? I think this could be good. It's 2 between them, and that does mean that we need to scoot that over. That's looking pretty good. Oops. Okay, good. There we go. 2, 2, 2. We want to add it down here as well. I guess we can. All right. Now let's see if we actually want them to be the same teal or white. I also like the brown look that they have. Obviously, we have to change it to a different material, but it gets quite busy. Maybe we'll just go with white. We will do a bit of cream. Yeah, I think that's better, probably. Should have really painted one and then pasted them to save myself all of this painting. But, you know, we go step by step. It doesn't matter. Got all day, baby. Okay. We like that? We can try out different styles. We can go with that same teal for the row below it to see if that's maybe better. We'll go with the yellow on the bottom one. All right. This is probably quicker. Do it like this and then go back. More thorough probably as well. Okay, the teal is winning so far. Now let's go with the yellow. The yellow does provide a bit of depth to it while not being overpowering with the colour. Let's finish it off. Oh, I find this quite difficult, actually. I think I'm going to go with the yellow. I think that's the best option. And you might disagree with me, and that's completely fine. You know, taste is subjective. Style is subjective. And perhaps even doing this, I think the bottom one should actually be teal. Different from the other barbells. Let's do that efficiently. Yeah, that does look better. We could even go with two different styles in the same one. We could go with this look on the side, while the front is yellow. So it creates a bit of an effect if you walk past it. That might be a fun addition as well. You know? I quite like that. It creates more of a transition between the teal trim and the yellow corbels like that. The side looks cooler like that. Well, this is a little bit calmer. It also creates a little bit more shadow, so the depth of it stands out a little bit more. I think I like that choice. Let's paint the front of these yellow. Front of these should be yellow too. There we go. And then we color pick this one. I'll get the sides painted teal. There we go. Now, for an Art Deco house, this is quite calm, right? Art Deco usually has like a lot of trims and ornaments on the facade of it. Is that Wes Anderson? Like Wes Anderson is inspired in most shots by Art Deco, but it's not necessarily that Art Deco is the only style that he uses. He uses different styles in his films, different architectural styles. I think if we want to try and do this a little bit Art Deco, we might need to add some more ornaments on it. Really, the Wes Anderson style, I would say, is more about the color grading and the composition of things. Like cinematographically speaking. Like things are usually quite centered with his shots, lots of open space around it, lots of, sky if we're talking about outside shots. Just sort of thinking how we can add ornaments within the tools that we have available to us. Oof. We could try to put like a balcony on one of the windows. A French balcony, so one that isn't usable, basically. So just like that. And we'll get into the fences. All right, we didn't really have any fancy fences. Let's put one in regardless. Oh, it's quite big, isn't it? Well, it's definitely a French balcony. It's so high up. Maybe if we add a second layer to it. And if we remove, how high was it? Like this? These walls, so we can put it inside, which it still won't allow us. Oh God, I hate fences. Can I just say that? I hate fences. They're awful to work with. I really need to do some updates on that, some tweaks. All right. Let's copy that surface finish. Let's try and put a wall in right here. There we go. Little French balcony. Let's give it the same trim that the other ones have. Copy. Right. We'll go to our sandbox. Trim. We'll turn these around. Snapping's on. Bring that around, and then we repeat that right there. Okay, so we've got some sort of decoration going. Oof, maybe an extra trim. Quite cute. I like that, actually. Another one right here. It's quite cute, actually. I like that. What else can we do? We can play with the depth of things a little bit more. So if we were to put a wall right behind this, right, and we take out this window and we put it right here. Okay, we use our transform tool because it's not cooperating with us. Right, and then we get rid of part of the wall. This is a little bit pushed in. And we can use this molding piece. give it some depth. Obviously, we need to turn that around. Oh. Oh, that works. Is it too big? That what's going on? Yeah, it was too big. Okay. We add that again. I gave it a little bit more depth. And maybe if we do it one more time, that same trick. That's too big again, but it's fine. We can adjust it. Oop. And we move it. Now it's quite difficult to see, but there we go. It's been given some depth. I do think we need to bring the other walls forward a little bit, or I'm just experimenting here. I don't have a plan for this. I usually don't have a plan for any of these. Right. We move that over one. And we take this one, perhaps. Just like that. And we transform that. We scooch it over. That. We resize it. That could work. We turn it around. Oh, it's too much turning around. But it's fine. There we go. Okay. It's getting kind of ridiculous what we're doing. Well, I mean, quite fun actually what we're doing. We transform that. Size it. Okay. That definitely has some depth. And now, how will we make this work right here? Can we do that with this one again? Just with a different orientation? Question mark? We put it like that. Maybe without grid snapping on. No. No, it's very close though. Ooh, how will we? We can also just put a little block right there. Let's try that. See if we like it. And if we don't, we get rid of it. Easy as that. Put a little block right down there. Right, we go into the transform. You put grid snapping on. Hello. Thank you. I mean, it's not the best fit, but we can change the bottom one to a round one. We can even change these to round ones. And then it will definitely fit. I think that could be cool. Let's try that out. And that also really ties into like the whole Art Deco thing of using organic shapes, round shapes. Which is a little bit difficult, I must say, within House Flipper's boundaries. How do I rotate this? Oh, just like that. Okay, I figured it out. Not very good at spatial puzzles, as you can see. Whoop. There we go, and we just Flip this one around. Resize them. Boom, boom. Yes. Oh, that works beautifully. That works pretty darn well, actually. Huh. Would you look at that? Now we can do some fun little things with the colours here. Let's just make this yellow. Right, but if we take that teal, these, teal coloured. And we've added some depth to our build. I think that's a lot of fun. Now, I do also want to add a pillar. So obviously we don't have traditional pillars. So we have these, quite thin. Oh, well, actually this would work. This could definitely work. Let's actually use that as a base, add a second one on top of it. Or we don't. Sure. Why would that even work? Why would that work? God, I can't with this game sometimes. Oop, there we go. We'll just add a second one on top of it and we'll use our magic tool to fix everything. It's completely fine. Right. And we'll add a third every column for the top of it. Let's shrink the top ones down. Why can't we shrink that down? Come on, be nice to us. Okay, we can't do that. So maybe we'll see how it goes. Let's go into the move tool. That's the resize tool. Move tool, thank you. Up. Right, we're putting these on top of them. And if it wouldn't allow us, we'll just force it into submission. This game is terrified of us. We'll do what we say. There we go. That wasn't so hard, was it? Let's put it right there. I'm still going to try to see if we can add a top to our pillars. It needs to be one higher. And we move it. Okay, so it does jut out a little bit. Really can't resize it. I'm going to resize it by 1. That's a win is a win, you know? That size down, it really isn't. Let's put it in its place. Okay, good. Right. Okay, so there's 2 ways to solve this. Either we take it down a little bit and make the other pillar go down as well 1 by 1 space. Or we add a trim right there. Something like that. Use our resize tool, span it all the way across. And we have another issue fixed. And we added some depth to it. Now you can see it does jut out a little bit more. We'll see about fixing that a different way probably. But we've got some more interesting detailing going on right now. So that's quite cool. And also, I would like to add that moulding again on the bottom side of that thing jutting out like that. Leaves an ugly mark. Well, actually, that's not too bad. I think that's fine, actually. All right, okay, so let's give this a little bit of an overhang. So we can add some cool spandrels to that as well. Corbels, I mean. Let's copy that, put that in there for now. We'll probably change it because it affects the inside of the attic. But for now, that's the color we're going with, just to keep us a little bit on track. Now we go with this one again. Let's add one right here, right here, and right here. And I want it to go into that cascading style once again by making these different sizes. This is a stolen idea. I'm using reference pictures of different buildings. I saw that and I thought, that's cool. I need to mimic that. Right, so we give that the same style as the other corbels. And we do need to add some of these. And of course we need to add one on top of these. We'll just add it to the entire row. But there's no gaps right there. That looks really cool, the way it fades back into the, you know, the, what do you call it? Into the wall, basically. I quite like that. It's cool. I do think we need to add some pillars to the top one as well. The floor above where they are currently standing. Which is an issue, apparently. Oh, God, what happened? Oh. What is... How are we breaking everything? Let's just put it down there. All right. We'll figure things out later. Do you actually want to add some columns where the French balcony meets the, what's it called? The wall. Oh my God, words evade me today. Don't know what's going on. Not good. Right, let's move you around. Put you that slot. That's also a good way to sort of hide the fact that there is some jutting out going on right there. Okay. Take it down one. Push it back a little bit. And that one will be a little bit higher up because it will start at the balcony. Push it inside the wall. These have a specific name that I don't remember in Dutch, let alone that I would know them. Oh, no, I do remember it in Dutch. It's a pilaster. It's basically a half pillar. I don't know if there's actually a full translation of that word. They're not a full pillar, they're half a pillar. Like these are full pillars currently because there is a gap between them and they're completely square. But pilasters or half pillars, they're half a pillar that are inside the wall. That's it. It's not that special. It's like, oh, I remember this from school, from our Latin classes. For Latin classes, these were a lot of fun. So I did both Latin and Greek. And this one's askew. Oi, come on, work with me here. So we got a lot of history lessons on it as well, both story-wise but also style-wise. And especially in Amsterdam, we went specifically to Amsterdam for that. Also, just because we were in the suburbs of Amsterdam, so Amsterdam wasn't very far. But Amsterdam has a lot of Baroque houses. And how does that relate to Latin and Greek and all that stuff? Well, Baroque draws a lot of inspiration from Greek and Roman styles. So we were taught all the different elements to a temple, like I'm going to guess what the words in English are. A tympan, so a tympan, the triangle above a temple. The big triangle, the roof, basically, the front of the roof. We learned the different styles of pillars. There wasn't a specific square style, but I think this would be considered Doric because it's quite simple. And you have Ionic, which is adorned with pearls that are supposed to resemble goat horns. And you have Corinthian pillars that have a lot of floral patterns to them. So the Doric pillars are the most minimalistic of them. They did have a lot of trims going on, like this one has. It goes from out to in to another in, and it goes out again, and then it goes flat, and it goes in and in and in and in. They did have a lot of that, but they were the most minimalistic, basically. So we would go into Amsterdam and look at all the Baroque buildings and sort of see what influences they had. Many Baroque buildings had Corinthian pillars because Baroque's all about that ornamental. But there were a couple that had Doric style pillars. There were a couple that had Ionic style pillars. And it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed analysing all of those different styles of influence that they had. I'm not going to bother with the back portion of that pillar. I'm going to leave it like that because I will get in trouble with this roof. That's why I'm sort of ignoring the top part of it, just as a little disclaimer. I have wonderful floor side where I know that will be a struggle and I will have to revert back to just dragging it up. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed our classical languages classes. I really enjoyed art history. That's where I really got the love for designing, I would say. Okay, so this is looking quite decorated already. Now we are missing some decorations on the first floor, and I'm not talking about the basement, the first floor, the ground floor. If we were to keep that symmetry going, we would only have space for one pillar on each side. We can't put them right underneath here. So we're going to at least do that. Copy that one. Don't think it's correctly placed. And we'll put the top one on there. And we'll transform it. Yeah, if you're ever fond of old architecture, go to big old cities. Yes, Amsterdam's great, but there are many great cities that you can visit. Like I said, Utrecht has a lot of Art Deco-inspired buildings. I really enjoyed Antwerpen. If you go for more medieval, you have to go to Bruges, to Brugge, with my thick Amsterdam accent. You should go to... Dublin has lovely buildings. Dublin has beautiful buildings. They have a castle right smack in the middle of the city. Many old cities just have beautiful buildings because they're hella old. That's just what it is. So go there. I can recommend it. I think I was most enamored by Bruges. I really, really enjoyed that town. Also, the city is completely car-free. I mean, I suppose not completely. There are neighborhoods at the edge that will still allow cars, obviously. But the historical centre is completely built for pedestrians. There is no way in hell you're going to get in there with a car. And its historic centre is, oh, I forgot Prague. Of course, you have to go to Prague. That is beautiful. That is like the Art Nouveau centre of the world, basically. Um, but anyway, Bruges, you can walk around Bruges in like a day and visit most of it. So it's nice and compact if you're going for like a long weekend or something. You can go to multiple museums. You can visit some of the castle or bulwarks or whatever they're called. You can visit all the different cafes. They have a lot of beers on taps, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. It's a great. I recommend going to Bruges. It's beautiful. And Prague, similarly, it's a lot bigger than Bruges, but similarly, great historic city centre. Very affordable, a lot of fun. I had a great time in Prague. Okay, so quite liking what this is turning out to be. We do need some extra pizzazz. First of all, I do think we need to add. We got real close suddenly. We do need to add that extra trim right here. There we go. And now to figure out what else we could add to it. Let me quickly scroll around and see and try and think of things. But you know, if we're done with the facade, we're done with the facade. That's really all there is to it. Yeah, I suppose that's just it. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the build, the exterior build, like I said, I was acting like this was a townhouse that is squished between other houses. So when you see one of those houses get torn down, you see the exposed brick on it, and it's really, really dirty brick. I want to add that to the side because it's all about the facade in these buildings. Like, they don't care about the side because it's covered by another building. So you would see this and maybe a bit of this. You can always quite clearly see, oh wait, that's fun actually. You can always quite clearly see the outline of a different building that they've removed. So if we go with, let's see, something like this, you can see that this is gone. This is gone. And you can see, like, I'll need to remove some of the walls. And don't worry, get it patched up. Right. These are not the same size at all. Need to get them the same size though. We'll resize it. And we'll turn it around. Okay, good, good. And now we copy those. Well, actually, let's just turn these around. Right, and we put one in again. Oh, come on. So, it is giving me feelings. And they're not great. Okay. Resize. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Oh, come on. Please be nice to me. Move it up that corner. And we'll resize it like that. That should work. Why doesn't that work? Don't be a bitch. Okay, since these are the same size, just straight up copy them. Oh, that works. Oh, victory. Okay, so finally, what I was going to illustrate, you'll see this. You'll see this on the sides. So that's what I'm going to do with the other side as well. I always find it so fun to see that. Let's take the plaster wall first. Let's cover it completely in plaster. It's always so funny to see them when it's torn down like that. Right. And this one was quite a high building and it didn't have that pitch on the side. But a lot less of this going on. Here we go. So that is just the singular remainder of a townhouse that was squished between two different houses, but no longer. And that is the exterior done. I realise we haven't done the backside. We're going to get to that when we get to it. We're going to see from the inside what kind of windows we want to add to it. But that is the exterior done for now. I quite like how this is going. We're going to tackle the interior, of course, the floor plan mainly, which is going to take us quite a while. I will tell you that already. I just know it's going to take us a while. And then we'll go and decorate everything. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed our little chat. Go and see Bruges or Prague or Utrecht or wherever. Go and see it. I hope you have a lovely day and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.